Hello, folks, and welcome back to episode 43, part 2, Return of Logan. Hi, Logan.
Hello.
Welcome back. This is going to be somewhat of our holiday edition here as well, because we are rolling around. Going to be publishing this here the upcoming Tuesday, as they all drop around there. Also, if you can go ahead and take your time to follow, like, subscribe, and pass along to all of your other friends, family, and anybody else at this time. Empower us. They can go ahead and check it out now. And that drop will be December 19th. You'll probably be hearing this on that time. But yeah, just for you, Logan, in case you needed to know that too. So thanks for coming back. Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Just didn't know. I wanted to first of all offer the community thank you. Wanted to start off, and the thank you that I want to go out, if I can, this holiday season is not only to my family and friends and those members of my social structure, and you truly do know who you are, that really make a real difference, including you too, Logan, and this not only the journey of Empowera, but also in my own journey in recreating and being able to talk about burnout, being able to talk about staffing ratios, being able to talk about what's truly happening in healthcare, not only at the personal level, but also at the community level. So thank you all, folks, for that. Appreciate that and your support. And we hope to see you next year as well in 2024. 2024. Wow. Have you started doing your New Year's resolution yet, Logan?
I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure what I'm going to make it yet, though.
Yeah. I haven't either yet. But I know this. I was talking with you a little bit before the show too. I just got off the phone, folks, with a PRN job that I was working off and on out in Colorado. Had great management. Had definitely people that made outreach, had conversations I know that was looking out for me in times that maybe I didn't know, to increase those as possibilities, at least for me over the last creation of Empowera. It's interesting to see when you do start to raise your voice, and maybe it is not because of that. Maybe it is also just because of the year, they want to be able to have a new clear slate. Just interesting to see what's happening in healthcare for that, in that area of the spectrum. And the other interesting part that I was looking at, I brought up, so I spoke first directly with a director of nursing who she had told me, like requirements were being made. Like the last shift that I had worked was about just under, I believe it was 50 days today. Anyways, and I was telling her like, okay, like I get what that is. Like I don't regret, because I did. I disappeared the upsets that were happening in my life and recreated and came back. In addition to being able to admit the possibility of having Empowera, and I don't regret being able to come back and see what's going on in my social structure and being able to see what's going on in local communities here in Ohio as well, and being able to have outreach with awesome and creative and courageous individuals such as yourself, Logan. And I pretty much told them, because I referred a nurse about 6 months ago to them, and I said at that time, I was like, is there a possibility for a referral bonus? And they said, well, like your PRN, so there's this, we only give those out to the full-time employees. And I was like, okay, like I feel like there's a distinction to be had here, that I feel like a referral is still a referral. So I had the conversation with HR, said I feel this is honestly like a form of discrimination in some way, shape, or form. Like there's honestly a shortage going on in healthcare. I think it only makes sense to be able to have people provide, referrals and be able to say, hey, like this is somebody that I know, I've had positive experiences with them. I think they'd be great not only to help you out with your business, but also to contribute to you and your own contribution to your community that you're making as well. Because everyone forgets about that full spectrum that they're providing for a community. So in each city that you service, and you do it in your own too, Logan, working where it is you're working at. You mentioned you have a newer in part 1, I believe. And for those folks who haven't looked at part 1, please check out part 1. It's been one of our top actual guests. So we brought him back by popular demand. So thanks for coming back, Logan. The statistics are proving for themselves, and taking a stand. And I can only imagine the other people that, are you getting in a fight with something? I said, "Are you?" I said, "Are you getting in a fight with something?"
Oh no, I was adjusting my chair. My chair is old as crap.
Oh my gosh! Hey, about chairs. Let's all talk about those chairs at your local healthcare system too. Be sure to talk with management and say, "Hey, if those chairs aren't good enough, this is going to last. Whatever the employer is until they're probably the next 10 years." And that's for all the families that are coming in too. They get to see a comfortable healthcare professional having good stature and being able to look out for that, and even probably at the household. Imagine you being able to have. I know I mentioned, and I'll mention it because I try to do it in every episode. Is the overall employee wellness program with Empower. If you haven't heard about it, there's 3 parts so far. First, and it's to have legislation passed not only in the state of Colorado, but that throughout the whole United States and hopefully the world, mandating employers to provide and support employees through employee wellness programs. And that can include, first, a minimum of 8 wellness days for all healthcare professionals per quarter. 2, a minimum deposit into an HSA account per quarter that is tax exempt at the federal, state, and local levels, and the establishment of a third-party run anti-retaliation department for each healthcare system. And Empower, again, we believe in the power of community, diversity, inclusivity to create positive change and improve society, to have those conversations with individuals and organizations that often go unheard, to have and make a true difference within healthcare. Before we continue on, sit back, be yourself no matter what, and get ready to be empowered. All right, back with a little bit of the music. So, anyways, conversation with HR. So, conversation with HR. Ended up speaking with DON. She said pretty much, and this is the way I'm running into management right now, Logan, if I can, it's we can't do anything about it. And it's literally almost the same time when you call like customer service now. Like the person you speak to is like, I can't do anything. And they're not lying. They cannot, by policy, do anything much what they have. And I'm like hitting my hands against my legs because it's just truly what it is we're up against. And it's just to acknowledge, just get it, and I got it.
Yeah.
So moving forward with that, it's like, okay, well then, there's the chain of command and the hierarchy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Taking stands right now in tough times when cost of living is going up, the economy is where it is, people want to talk about it. People are comfortable enough to talk about it. And whatever narrative has been invented prior is no longer what it is people really want to talk about, and it's interesting to see that overall ability. But spoke with HR and said, hey, like they're like, yeah, well, like when you had first of all referred so and so, like you had, like they had only been there a month, so we didn't really, pay any attention to it. And I was like, that totally makes sense. Like I totally get it. So went in, and finally now, just freshly after I got told that I might be requirements, so I've been let go, but they'll definitely take me back because they've had positive experience. To remain professional. For folks who are also there too, try to remain professional here around the holidays with your employers. Things can be challenging. People are always trying to get in and get their surgeries and whatever else they need done because their deductibles have been met and they're trying to meet it before the end of the year. And that's honestly what's going on with the market, in my opinion, around this time of the year too. And I think it's especially important to look at the health and wellness of a healthcare professional, not only now, but also at the start of the new year. There's a lot of people I'm running into, Logan. I don't know if you know it, but I'm running into people I'm having conversations with. And some people say, well, Brett, you're speaking with people with seeds of discontent. I think it's honestly what's happening is they do around this time of the year, they have their see you later fund with their employer, or they're starting to just literally be in vacation mode or holiday mode. There's nothing wrong with that. It's wanting to create community. I mean, years ago, I mean, tribally, people used to literally be if you look, people were engaging into big parties around this time. They had just reaped the harvest and they were getting inebriated, hoping that their harvest would last them. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. And now we're working through these times and we're not getting proper vitamins and minerals, and it shows through stress and whatnot. But anyways, so what happened? You're dancing around this topic, Brett. Yes, I know I am. So what happened was I did speak with HR and he said, okay, since this has been 6 months, we'll go back, we'll look, and we'll give you a phone call. If you don't hear about us tomorrow, you'll hear directly from me. And I said that to him. I was like, because that's the other thing to ask with HR, no matter what nowadays, when are you going to hear back? Same thing with interviews. When am I going to hear back? That's one of the best follow-up questions ever, folks. When are you going to hear back? Because in today's world, it can almost be instantaneous. At least the way technology is. Yeah.
Very true.
What are you getting from all this, Logan? I've blurted out as long as I have. Yeah, what are you getting? And for those who don't know, this is they're just stepping into episode 2 for some reason. They've got part 2, and they're just like, okay, this randomly happened. Give them a little background, what you do in healthcare, and just what you think about the situation.
Well, still don't know the whole thing, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because coming from an STNA perspective, it's kind of like a given. Like places aren't afraid to just get rid of an aide.
Well, I mean, imagine yourself giving a referral of a nurse, right? Imagine that as a
Yeah.
possibility. Like, I still think whatever that, um, this is not as professional as I was to be, but I did say this to the DON is I said, I honestly feel that since there's this distinction going because I'm PRN and I'm not eligible because of my hours. And I said, I don't see that as being a reason for why somebody should be eligible for a referral bonus. First of all, uh, I was like, well, if that's honestly one of the reasons why, I'm just really weirded out as to why. And I know I saw the one current employee who I did refer to sent me a picture. Like they're giving away a big screen TV to their staff and X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, the funds are going somewhere. Like I totally get it. And uh, there's a lot that really happened between the different conversations between the two of them. I'm just really blown away by the fact of like, I don't know. I was told I was unreasonable by the DON, and then it was kind of accepted by HR. Yeah. And if you still,
I
yeah,
don't care what position you are. If you're part time, full time, you should still get that. Either way, you gave them an employee.
yeah, who's worked not only full time but also like we literally audited this. Like it's not that he went in and this was an intentional malicious act that we had whatsoever. He already, and you can see by his past experiences, he works like a hound already. So I guess my favor, coincidentally, if I can really offer that, and it's just we were both paying attention, and we're allowed to pay attention, and we're allowed to talk, we're allowed to converse about this, we're allowed to see what's going on because I honestly think it'd be nice for you to be able to whether you're environmental or not, you refer a dignified human to come in and work in healthcare. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Like you there's already like this the auditing that they do for works and stuff where you come in for your 30 days, your 60 days, your 90 days, and they audit it and whatnot. And they see like what your performance has been like, how you like it. This is all before you get like a permanent name tag nowadays. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know somebody works in childcare and that's how it is. And it's interesting within healthcare, they give you the badge right away, huh? But they also charge you later if you don't return it. I know that. At least I've seen it. I've seen it. They'll try to go for that. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'd say like anybody. I think that literally be able to provide a quality healthcare professional should be able to be eligible for that kind of. Because imagine the quality of life you get out of that. You already get the quality of life of the referral. That's what the employer wants you, I feel, to do is to go, well, thanks for just doing it. Like that's what you're supposed to be able to be all. It's like no, like you know, 1 and 1 making 2 and business and being able to invent possibility. I feel like there's this pushing away as to we don't want people to be able to side hustle. I mean, they may see it that way, but what? A referral has been a referral since the dawn of time, and there have been supports in whatever way it has come out or royalties for being able to do that. And especially if someone has a voice, it's amazing to see now, even in the marketing world, I've seen within Power Out, like some people are like, I don't care unless you have like 10,000 followers. And it's like, okay, so like, that's like your only like real thing that you're looking for, right? And they're like, yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Like sometimes some conversations are real quick, Logan, you know, and you have to be able to make that distinction for yourself as well. I think, and whatever it is, somebody wants to be able to create. But and I'm jumping all around here, but I feel like it's all connected. I mean, because imagine somebody wanting to finally be off around the holidays and not work the holidays, still have created we'll call it a holiday package. We'll say like they've been able to refer a certain amount of healthcare professionals or and they're not all banking on this, but if it supports the shortage, why not support this? I was just seeing, pull it up here. It was in Colorado. The governor was just talking about it. Let me pull it up here. I was just sharing it with an individual after sharing like a ton of stuff, doing that like scroll war here. Yeah, White House. Um, You can go ahead and see this on CPR.org. As White House focuses on home-based care funding, Polis highlights what Colorado has done. This is published yesterday. Biden administration on Tuesday is expected to announce a new rule to make it easier for families to find home health care. It allows for the use of federal funds to create a state registry of home care providers through Medicare, Medicaid. According to the new rule, states can use up to 90% of some federal funds to create a registry. We're talking like, where is it at here? So Polis even said he'd used a fund that was released as well previously called the American Rescue Fund. In 2022, they actually raised the wage of home health care workers from $15, from $12.56 to $12.56 to 15. And in Colorado total, they're receiving a $510 million more in funding for home and community-based services, with $37 billion used across all 50 states for home-based and community-based healthcare. Another interesting thing that I had seen, and people are probably want to audit this as well, and that's interesting, was the Biden administration was just looking into what was it, psilocybin. Actually, let me go ahead and pull that up too. I have that here. Here we go. Yeah, Biden administration plans for legal psychedelic therapies within 2 years. You can go ahead and check that up. It's on the Intercept, everybody, intercept.com. A letter from the Health and Human Services discloses an anticipated FDA approval of MDMA and psilocybin treatments. They're looking into being able to provide these for people with PTSD and depression. Sorry, you mind if I mention this? Is that okay, Logan?
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. You want to do that for folks too? I don't have to always mention this stuff. Just go ahead and say it before you go on the show. It's interesting because there's actually a letter here um, from the Honorable Mention Magdalene Dean of the U.S. House of Representatives. It's a thank you letter to the Secretary Bareka, in which there's I'm getting all these alarms going off. They're recommending the establishment of an interagency federal task force that can address the complex issues associated with the anticipation of the potential approval of MDMA treatment and psilocybin for treatment of depression within approximately 24 months. This whole document is available to you all. I'd love to drop it in the show notes too, as well. They're looking into other medications or drugs as well that exist, hallucinogens, because we're looking at the overall war on drugs that's been around and it's winding down now, folks. I mean, it's not what it used to be. There are a lot more dangerous things to talk about in this world than drugs and guns. We're talking more about drugs because I still see psilocybin. All these are still psychedelic drugs that exist. There is producing, we're seeing substantial and sustained decreases in depression and anxiety in patients, even life-threatening cancers. So imagine applying that even into the potential rescheduling, and that's the other part of this is rescheduling of these substances from Schedule 1 to, I believe it was 3. So, yep. And a lot of these people, they can even literally a lot of these substances you'd be able to provide. MDMA provides. It's actually already produced synthetically by pharmaceuticals, along with medicinal LSD, which has been around since the 60s. Actually, there was a pharmacy called that's still in existence today that actually sold it to a professor back then called Dr. Timothy Leary. So for those who do know that, go ahead and look into that. That was actually something that actually did happen. It was a legal sale at that time before they had changed everything. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I guess, do you mind me asking you on the show here, Logan, if you know anybody that would look into these kinds of plant medicines?
I do. A couple of people I work with would be probably interested in looking at all that.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Hey, I get it. And not just, and the thing is I had a conversation with another medical professional. They would like to remain anonymous this time. They had actually made outreach to a neurosurgeon, and the neurosurgeon had shared for the last 15 years of his career, he actually was microdosing on psilocybin. Still going in, doing all of his surgeries, still top notch. No one had any clue. And there's honestly, I guess that's the overall distinction of the healthcare professional. But honestly, if it was not impaired in any way, shape, or form, and he was still able to carry everything out, I don't know. I don't see a system within any part of any economy or business that would look to audit or assess if someone is under the influence if they're microdosing. And honestly, it'd be up to the distinction of the employer if it's really making a difference, because you still have people that are taking your local Costco organic multivitamin that has a nice mushroom supplement in there, and it's such a small dose that it's not doing anything. And there's research on the overall dosage of all this, of microdosing and whatnot. If you could look into that, do your own research, please. I'm not here to condone, describe any of that. And you're not here for that either, are you, Logan?
No,
Okay, cool. You're just here for conversation.
pretty much.
Okay, me too. Nothing wrong with that. I dig it. I totally get it. But yeah, no. It'd be interesting to see what happens even here in Ohio. I just got off the phone with another employer today, remaining active because it's interesting to see what's happening in healthcare. And they're based, I can't remember where they're based out of, but they're international, they're domestic here in the United States. And I called them up because they are agency, and they actually had told me prior, because I had asked them if someone did have a medical marijuana card in Ohio, would they be able to still be able to work? Or if they had one in Colorado, would they still be able to work? So with that, they, I believe this was about 3 months ago, they had said no, they were not down for it. Literally called them today, asked the same question. They said that if you don't hear from us today, you'll hear from us tomorrow. Very similar to the HR, huh? Right? Sounds interesting. We'll see what happens. You just got to be up and check and revisit. Nothing wrong with that. But, and they said they were actually going to look into it. So it's interesting to see all this stuff coming out. It's just, you have to make the phone calls, got to have the conversations with this to figure all this stuff out. So, and cross your T's, dot your I's, remain transparent and aware, let them be aware. Like, I'm not here to hide anything. I don't think anybody here is trying to hide anything with, do you think the people that you would work with, do you feel a hostile environment, they would try to hide their ability to potentially microdose or use these substances in their off time?
Oh yeah.
I'm being serious. Do you feel like they would create an environment where you would feel unsafe talking about or being able to
Well, it all comes down to where you're employed at.
yeah,
Like I know
no, no,
certain places
no,
they
no,
are pretty hostile when it
yeah,
comes to
no, no,
that.
regardless of employer and their policy, I'm saying within society, I think that's all we can really speak to in today's philosophical terms, just existentialism and being, and just being able to talk about just being at work and being able to have things to talk about. Because I don't know, I feel like even over the next few months, people even in the states of Ohio now, where marijuana is legal for recreational usage, and in whatever way it comes out now, in whatever that are doing it, I think they're, or at least it's decriminalized. We'll say whatever way you want to look at the legislation right now. Uh, but anyways, and in whatever way that comes out, and whatever way you condone yourself and whatever it is you do, it's interesting to see people being able to have these conversations on safety aspects, because I'm feeling like this huge aspect from. So I spoke with another person working in another healthcare system, and they had told me that they had a conversation with an individual, and the person was asking, like, is weed safe? They asked this nurse, like, is weed safe? And it's like, huh, like uh, it's like now that weed is legal, right? Like, staff are curious now. They're asking the healthcare professional. They're asking, hey, like, what do you know? Like, do you know a lot? And it's like, are they a guru? Are they a sage? Are they a shaman? Like, they're not. Like, we haven't really been properly educated on these in school. Like, we have an alternative and complementary therapy class in nursing school if you do get it, and that's part of it, I feel. And it's amazing to see the real difference it makes in people's lives, but yet there's lack of education with it. Yet, just saw Kent State. Uh, check this out. Kent State just had, they have courses coming now for cannabis certifications. Did you know this?
No, I did not.
This came out the 12th. Yes. They're rolling out a new cannabis certification course now that recreational marijuana is legal. Even before legalizing took place, Kent State said that in industry, they wanted to help develop with the new workforce. So, all right, folks. Well, Logan, this has been a great part 2. It's been a journey. I don't know if it's just been me talking or if you've actually been entertained from it, folks. And if you were, again, if you can follow, like, subscribe, check us out. This has definitely been. Is there anything else you'd like to share, or any power advice for anybody else?
I can't think of anything at this moment besides be you, be yourself, and enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, be safe out there. Don't be, and healthcare professionals are already 3 times more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol than general public. So be safe out there, and it's already a stressful time. So enjoy, and I guess have that distinction between conversations to be had versus the actions that some people do take around this time too. So yeah, some stuff is just a conversation. So all right, well, thank you very much, Logan. I appreciate it, and folks, if you could go ahead, comment too. I know Logan definitely appreciates it too. So love to have you back, Logan.
Yep.
And go ahead. Oh, did you have a handle too you'd like to drop down so people can check you out?
Check me on YouTube, the Big Blue Guy, or TikTok, which I also think is the Big Blue Guy.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and if you want to send that over, we'll drop it down in the notes as well. So,
All right, sounds good.
okay, sounds good. All right, everybody. Bye for now.